Welcome back to Tied Down TV, the punk rock opinion show with me, Geoff.
I'm Danny.
And today we're doing top 5 LP cover art. So when you do talk about cover art, what draws you in?
Well, if you're like me, occasionally, if you've got a spare bit of cash, you want to go record shopping. I have been in the habit occasionally of being a bit of a blind buyer.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't know a band,
It's part of the excitement,
of
isn't
course,
it? Sometimes
yeah. I mean, it can go badly wrong, as we know. I'm sure there's hundreds of record collectors out there who've blind bought based on something that they look for in artwork.
Absolutely.
And they think, that's got to be good.
Yeah.
That says a lot, you know, that reaches out to me, that you get it home and it's the biggest pile of tear that ever happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Occasionally it happens though where you get it home and it is everything you were expecting. But there is certain things I do look for in artwork for records. There's certain records I hold higher than maybe they deserve to be because I love the artwork so much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've always been drawn to cover art. I know there's people out there who, you know, they don't even, you'll talk to them about records and you go, oh, it's got a great cover, and they don't care about that.
No,
you know what
no.
I mean? To me, it's a huge, I love having
the experience.
I love having a record. This is the thing I don't get about streamers, because to me, the glory of having music is to hold it and to look at it and experience it as a piece of art as it was intended to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes I will listen to a record and I will hold it, and I'm not reading lyrics, I'm just looking at it while I'm listening to the record.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like listening to it and looking at it and seeing if there's like it's kind of like got an organic connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do think it can't really be understated how important cover art can be.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And I'm going even back to, like, I had an obsession years ago when I went through a thing of collecting them. You know, the old 80s VHS videos, the ones that you like, X rentals, the big boxes, where they'd have like a lot of the 80s old horror films, the video nasties had these really, really DIY covers. Do you know what I mean? Where it's been it could be the worst film ever. It could be like a Z movie, but someone has clearly took it upon themselves to paint or hand-paintingly draw a brilliant piece of artwork for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you watch the film and you think, it might be terrible, but I appreciate what's going on in it because of the effort the individual has made in that piece of work. And I think that's the essence of punk as well.
Fair play, yeah. I always think about artwork, and obviously a lot of the artwork that maybe on albums that impact me that I still think about now is stuff when I was like a teenager, when the money I had was probably more, you know, that 15 quid to go and buy that CD was very precious.
Yeah. It was, you've got to make the right decision.
You had to make the right call, exactly. But sometimes you would just look at it and think, that's got to be good. Or even not just the cover art, but also maybe you've just heard the name somewhere as well, and you think, it looks cool, the aesthetic, it's got to be something I'm going to enjoy. Nowadays, I still do it, like you said, even though it's quite easy to access it on your phone and listen to whatever it is, usually, can't you?
Well, I'm not a fan of the band, but I honestly believe, and I actually almost picked it, because believe it or not, some of the picks I picked, I'm not huge, I don't love the album as such, but you know what I was actually close to picking, because I do believe it's got one of the best covers ever. I'm not even a fan of the band. Dookie by Green Day.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's got one of the best cover art ever.
I know.
And every time you look at it, you see something new. Even the logo of the band, it's great. Do you know what I mean?
No,
it's brilliant.
100%. I agree. That was very close for me as well, because that was one of the very impactful very early on. Nevermind as well was another one, which I thought, I'm not going to pick that because, I don't know, there's many reasons why.
You might get sued by the kid.
Well, there is that as well, as I'm going to say, you know. But and you know, there was, like, now I often do buy, I buy like a lot of 7-inches and stuff, and I don't know nothing about it, but and if I look at a 7-inch and it's got the discharge font, I'm thinking I'm probably going to like it. It's going to
be good, yeah.
Probably going to like
now,
that.
with me, if I look at a record and it's got, like, we went to that Restart gig the other day.
Yeah.
And I picked that 7-inch tonight. It had like a drawn skinhead on it. Yeah. Like the old Kevin Crowley artwork from The Abused. Yeah. And I was like, that's going to be amazing. It's got to be right up my street, and it was amazing. Do you know what I mean? Yep. So there is going to be certain things each individual person looks for, you know, that ties into their style of music, where they go, there's an aesthetic to it as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there was one, I can't remember the name of the band now, I've still got the record. Remember when I was away a few months ago and I messaged you a picture of it, and I was like, I've just picked this up, no idea who they are, and you were like, that looks like it's going to be fucking amazing.
And was it?
No, it was terrible, man. And I sent you the link as well, and I was like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
But it looked like it was going to be... It actually looked like it'd be more up your street than mine.
Yeah.
And it was up neither of our streets, to be fair.
Happens occasionally, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got gobbledygooked about that stuff for a while now.
So we pick off.
Go on, you start.
All right, I'm going to start. I'm going to pick this one first. One of the most famous images, but it's got to be picked. Bad Brains, self-titled.
This is the first video where we're picking records we possibly already picked.
Yeah, we'll have talked about these, but we're not really talking about the music, we're talking about the cover art in this one. But that image, I mean, if you're watching this, you're into punk or hardcore, you've probably owned that on a t-shirt, hoodie, multiple times maybe. I know I have. I know you have as well. That image is so striking. Like, I can hear that. As soon as I see that anywhere, I hear dun 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 dun. Bandings. It's there straight away. As soon as I see it, it's so fucking bright. But you know what I mean? It's it's the lightning bolt hitting the Capitol building. I mean, like I say, iconic. What more can you say about that cover art? But it's beautiful. It's perfect. It's got the raster colours on it still as well. But yeah, I mean.
Whenever I look at that, especially the writing of the band down the side, it always makes me want to eat sweets.
Okay, yeah, because
like
the bright colours, fair play. But that's my first pick anyway, self-titled, Bad Brains.
Yeah, my first pick, I'm kind of giving it away right here, but I've gone for Road to Ruin by the Ramones. Now, it might not necessarily be my favourite Ramones album, but I think I've mentioned before, the Ramones were a band I was a bit of a late comer to. I mentioned for ages, I thought Bleak Street Bop, which you heard everywhere, was one of them tunes that I hated for a long time.
Yep.
Every time I heard it, I'd be like, I hate this. They were a band I got into probably in my mid to late 20s. Do you know what I mean? I'd ignored them for that long. Mm-hmm. It was looking through records and seeing this cover art, and like I said, there's going to be a theme in the records I picked. There's a particular kind of artwork I like, and this is probably one of its most famous examples, is Road to Ruin. Now, obviously, you can see the drawings. That has obviously been drawn. It's a real piece of artwork there, do you know what I mean? It's obviously got the bright writing at the top. It's very, very eye-catching. Now, I said to you that the song that caught my attention with the Ramones as well was Don't Come Close originally. They are a band that people say, they started selling out on this record. I always preferred their poppier stuff anyway.
Okay.
I liked it when they started going to that more Phil Spector influenced sound. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And even though this isn't probably my favourite Ramones album, pound for pound, it's by far got the most striking cover art. And I always wanted to get the t-shirt, so I've got the t-shirt too. But yeah, look at that. All members, brilliant.
It is iconic.
It is. It's obviously the first album's got an iconic cover.
Well, I nearly picked that to be fair, and I found out you were picking that.
Yeah, look at it. I just like that's been put together by someone.
It's cool as
you know what I mean?
Isn't it? Yeah. And it's a fucking great. All four of their first albums, any of them are all great, I think. Anyway, pick number 2. It's a fucking great album. This artwork I love. It's The Day the Country Died by Subhumans, and get a close up look at it.
Well, that's kind of going in my kind
of hand drawn, but it's just there's so much fucking detail in that. Like every time, again, like you said, you look at it, you find new things. It's very, very of its sort of time and scene. Like if you watch our UK 82 Stroke Anarcho video we did way back when, you picked this, wax lyrical about this album, what it sounds like, all that kind of stuff. It's fucking amazing. But this the artwork, it fits the theme, the anarcho punk at the time as well. Obviously, the title, The Day the Country Died. But this was a band, much like you just said about the Ramones, I probably was later than I should have been getting into these. And it was, obviously, I'd seen the name, I heard it loads, but I was probably, late 20s, early 30s before I actually really
appreciated them.
I went back and heard them again and thought, fucking right, I get it now, do you know what I mean? But and this was obviously one of the first, if not the first, that got me there. But yeah, just check it out. It's fucking amazing. Anyway, Day the Country Died.
I always like the
artwork on the back as well.
I always actually like the way the band's name was written with the 3 blocks as well. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Hum and
But
yeah, amazing. Subhumans, Day the Country Died.
My second pick. Now, what I said about not particularly being a huge fan of the band as much, but the cover art I love. Now, this was one of the first ones I thought of when we decided we were doing it. And I'm not a huge. They're all right. I like them as much as the other guy, but I'm not a huge fan of these. But I just think that is absolutely fantastic. It was the first 7 Seconds album I got. I got it second hand and it was battered, but I always loved that. Now, that looks like it's been drawn with a pen, doesn't it?
Does,
do you know what I mean? And you've got
cool.
the band playing there. You know, it's just literally someone, you know, how long has that took someone to do? And I've got a thing for live shots. A lot of the straight edge bands did this, the kind of live shot drawn of the band with you know, all the crowd there and stuff. And you've got quite a lot of things, you know, represented.
I was going to say, a lot of them do, don't they?
Yeah, you've got like a skinhead represented. You've got like, you know, the traditional Mohawk punk. You've got a straight edge kid represented. Do you know what I mean? And it's just again, bright colours on a dark canvas seems to work quite well. You know what I mean? I always think that really works well. But yeah, it's I'm like I said, I'm not a huge 7 Seconds fan, but I honestly think that is one of the best hardcore album covers ever.
I really like it, to be fair.
You know what I mean? Some people don't like the scruffiness, but I just think it's amazing. Like I said, the more DIY it is.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't want someone to just fucking put a piece of turd on a piece of paper and take a photo. When someone's, you know, when someone's gone on the side and said, right, we're doing this record, I'm gonna draw it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it's not the most perfect thing, someone's took a while to draw that and then put it on their work, and I appreciate that 100%.
It's amazing.
And that's just fantastic.
Well, when that got I'm going to put it down, because if you see the back bit at the back, when that got re-released, I think that was the cover.
I've seen that with that.
And it doesn't work, does it? Do you know what I mean? It's not
yeah,
the same.
I've seen the
re-release.
The
re-released with the extra tracks and extended it.
But that's just fantastic.
It is good.
We're back to front again.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll flip.
Okay.
My third pick, Feeding of the 5000 by Crass. So, again, I just talked about Subhumans, anarcho-punk, etc., etc. It always had fucking amazing artwork. I mean, that's just the front. Look at that. Now, at Crass, I was actually fairly reasonably young when I think I told the story when I talked about them back in the day. Someone in Stairways just recommended them to me, and I sort of got into them from there. But anyway, what I love about Crass and a lot of this artwork from the time is how fucking detailed and how much of it there was. I mean, it just folds out, and it comes into like the big...
Yeah.
For that, your country needs you.
You know what? I've never even opened mine up. I didn't even know that was in there.
It's amazing, isn't it? But that's what I mean. So you talk about detail, effort. I mean, look at all that's gone into that. The detail, the effort, the collages that are done. It's just phenomenal. And, you know, as back in the day anyway, Crass records sold their records at a reasonably cheap amounts.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of work, a lot of effort went in and you know, it says a lot. Obviously, again, they're a hyper-political band, and that artwork is very political. This is the second sitting pressing. I think the artwork's the same as the original pressing, as far as I'm aware, but that's pick number 3 for me anyway, Feeding of the 5000.
Yeah. Pick number 4 for me. I have to pick something from New York, didn't I?
This is your third pick, to be fair.
Third pick, sorry, third pick. I'm suffering from a little bit of a throat thing, so you've got to let me down. You gotta, you know.
Yeah.
I've got to pick something from New York, and I have done. Now, I've gone Crumbsuckers, Life of Dreams. Again, another one that's you know, the same kind of thing. It's been drawn and all that. I always found that. Now, someone recommended me these when I was younger because of the music I was getting into. Yeah. Listen to Crumbsuckers. And I remember when I first got, now like I say, I was introduced to this album early on, like very early 20s. And I always thought the album cover was better than the album itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until a good few years later I really appreciated them and this album for how good it is, how influential it was in crossover and stuff like that. But also how influential this style of artwork is. You look at a band like Backtrack from New York, all their artwork looks to me like it's been lifted from this Crumbsuckers album. You know what I mean? And maybe Cause for Alarm by Agnostic Front, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of them where you look, even and the back cover's cool as well, with the guys sucking up the crumbs. Yeah, it's just great artwork, colourful again, but on a black canvas. There's definitely a theme going on with me. So there you go, Crumbsuckers, Life of Dreams.
Amazing. Pick number 4. I've gone for Milo Goes to College by the Descendents. One of my all-time favourite bands. One of the most iconic, I think, punk images. Maybe barring Black Flag and a couple of others. I'd say one of the most tattooed as well.
I even think I could draw that. That's how simplistic it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, loads of people have a Milo. I've got a Milo tattoo up here. But it's just iconic. One of my favourite bands anyway. As you know, as a teenager when I got into them, when I first saw them, and you know, the Milo, like you say, you could just draw it. You could draw it everywhere.
It's a very simplistic but profound image, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I was
like the bar, the Black Flag bars and stuff.
Iconic of its period, and the lightning bolt Bad Brains as well. It's just kind of part of that.
Yeah,
it's just there. It's etched in, isn't it? Like you say, it's an obvious pick, really. But I couldn't not give a shout out to my main man Milo, and I picked Milo Goes to College because it's the fucking best album really, but it is the best image of him as well, I think. So yeah, Milo Goes to College, Descendents.
Keeping in theme with the drawn image and all that. Now I don't know, I'm not an artist, I don't know how long this must have took, but sticking in with the straight edge live footage thing, the live image thing, I've picked Scream for Change by Uniform Choice. Now look at that, it looks like it's been done with a pencil, doesn't it? And how good and detailed is that? You've got like Pat there with everyone rushing him. Looks like it's been drawn with a pencil. It's absolutely unbelievably good.
It's cool, like
the shading and everything. Yeah, it's just, and the big massive X on his hand as well. I just love it. I just love this DIY straight edge artwork. That's a lot of bands were doing back then. Obviously you got the band there on the back as well. Like I said,
he's probably another band you said you're not a huge fan of, are you? But...
No, I mean, I like them, you know what I mean? But I'm not like, I've also, another, well, I can show you it as well, another thing I really like, and I've actually considered getting this for a tattoo, is the Demos record that has got that on it. The cover is that, the skinhead guy with the OC straight edge thing there. I've always, that, you know, that's a great image as well.
Very cool,
you know, it's like that, and it looking mean and stuff, the Uniform Choice thing. But yeah, I think Uniform Choice had a lot of good imagery, and that is just an unbelievable piece of work, whoever drew that.
Nice. Nice. Final pick for me. I've gone with the Anaco again. I've gone Death Church, Rudimentary Peni. I had to pick it. Again, you said what was first for you. I thought straight away, I've got to pick a Nick Blinko. And he obviously is the front man who draws all the artwork, but again, it folds out into all of it. It's all drawn with biro, by the way, as well. So if you can actually see some of it, it's dark, it's fucking bleak, much like the music, really. But again, opens out. Look at the middle. Imagine that, how long that took.
Oh my god!
Look at
again,
that.
I've never opened mine fully up.
It's biro drawn. He's a very talented artist, anyway. Very talented songwriter. I think he's recognised. You know, he sells artwork. I think he's had exhibitions on and things like that. Very troubled soul as well, but makes beautiful art in a dark kind of thingy way.
You know, he reminds me a little bit of his art, and maybe not violently the same way, but he reminds me a little bit of Charles Bronson, the Prisoner.
Okay.
With the art he does and stuff, and he found the artwork soothed a lot of his troubles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not that too. If you look at some of the images, aren't that too different from his.
Maybe not.
You know
actually,
I mean?
I can't say I've explored his art that much, but as I say, Blinko, I'm a big fan of Peni anyway in general. But yeah, definitely. You just go on Google Nick Blinko art and have a look at it. All the Peni covers that he's drawn are fucking outstanding.
My last pick, probably the most simplistic of all my picks, and people will probably be more surprised that he didn't pick it. But it's more about the message of the image and something I can relate to, and it's Minor Threat Out of Step. Obviously, the black sheep has been tattooed on many people. You've got the black sheep running from the head, and obviously we know the whole straight edge thing. You know, I'm out of step. You know the message behind it. Everyone knows what this is representing, and I just think obviously it's a very strong.
Iconic.
A strong, iconic. Difference is this is on a white canvas compared to all my others. Yeah. But it has to be, I guess, to show the black sheep there running. And you know, I've got quite a few friends who've had that tattooed to them. You know, if you just get a random sheep tattooed to you, you know, it's not gonna. But you know the Minor Threat sheep when you see him.
The black one.
Do you know what I mean?
See, even for me, I'm not straight edge, but still, I think if you're into punk or hardcore anyway, you identify a little bit with that feeling out of step with the, main society, don't you?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it doesn't necessarily represent being straight edge, even though that's probably what he had in mind, when this was
the song was about, innit?
Obviously punk in me is what, you take what you want and make it your own, build your own relationship to it. So this could mean a lot of things, couldn't it? It could mean against society, it could mean against, all sorts of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, it's obviously a powerful image, and it's something, like a lot of punks I probably always went along with. The black sheep from the crowd. So there you go.
So there you go, yeah. So those are our top 5 picks. Let us know what yours are in the comments, and thanks for watching.
Are you going to go for an honourable mention? You haven't thought of one, have you?
I've got an honourable mention.
Go on.
I'm going to go My War, Black Flag.
I've sprung it on you, haven't I? I'm going to go, and this nearly got in again, going with the theme, but I suppose it was technically a 7-inch when it came out. I'm going to go Can't Close My Eyes by Youth Today.
Fair play.
Again, that image.
Yeah.
I know it's not a drawing, it looks more like a negative, but it's something I always focus. I always loved that. I actually had it hanging in a frame. I loved it that much.
Oh.
Big X on his fist and stuff.
Yeah, it's good imagery. Well, yeah, anyway, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, jump on Insta, Facebook, like, follow, give us a message, whatever. See you next time. That's what I do! That's what I do!